to the chase starting next week. It's a grind for the next couple weeks afterwards for about 10 straight races, give or take, depending on your series. For Caswell Glass Company action, that chase about 9 races the distance. But it's going to be not as much more so where people are going to see potentially tonight. That's going to be the talking point. We were talking about this before tonight, James, where drivers were settled in. We'll see that in a moment because the drivers have got themselves qualified for tonight's festivities. It's
Watkins Glen.
Brian McCann setting the pole time tonight with 6/10 over Tommy Rye here tonight. You throw it down to the order to row number 2. That's where Morgan Cook is. Anthony Murillo Jr. is going to be starting down in the 4th position here this evening. JP Phillips is down in 5th with Andrew Shove in the 6th position here this evening. Then you throw it back to row number 4. That's where Dustin Lewis will be. And it's Anthony Savignano will start inside the top 8.
27 knots.
Drew Green makes an appearance at the Cookie Monster machine, and Dominic Rossi is the top 10.
On back to 11th, 1.3 seconds off of pole is Michael Cole in the 43. The 81 River Hayes lining up about a 1.5 seconds off in 12th. 13th is Dylan Calkins in the 21. Gavin Hinson alongside in a very different livery 39, rolling off in 14th position. 15th goes the way of the 48 of Adam Holston. Zach Davidson in the 01 alongside in 16th. 17th is going to be Jeff Ryan, one of the drivers on the bubble in the 3. Elijah Maupin in the 92 lines up 18th position. 19th goes the way of Ryan Pelfrey in the 31. The 28 of Brad Collier lining up 20th.
Then you have Dave Billings down 21st, teammate to Collier. Then you have Rich Kine going to be starting down in 22nd. Rounding up the drivers to qualifying times tonight was James Sturdivant. Keep an eye on this driver, though, the 77. That's Zach Millett. That was 2nd in practice, but because he missed quali, he's starting from Parrott Road. He's actually supposed to be running the 93 for this evening's points. Christian Barnes and Zachary King also did not put up times tonight. However, Zachary King is not in the session, or wasn't at the top of the grid, so he's towards the tail. You also have Douglas Wysocki, Michael Daly in tonight for
the Caswell Glass Company Series.
Ashton Crowder machine. And Devin Lyons
60 lap stages
round out the order here tonight
35,
in tonight's festivities as we prepare to find out how things go here this evening. Your quick keys to victory is we'll have some pretty quick stages, 15:35 and then the end to 60.
Qualified on 10-1.
15 laps is nothing to scoff at around Watkins. Tires, tires, tires. Can you take care of them? Can you keep from sliding, maybe short shifting, trying to conserve those rears? We've heard drivers talking all sorts about trying to get 2, 3, 4 good laps in a row. It is a challenge out there on those tires.
This field just about all set to go. Jeff Ryan has a 30-point gap coming into tonight to make it into the chase. As long as things don't explode, things look stable. But the field is set to go. We're happy to have you with us for tonight's coverage. We're ready to go.
We got a big,
it's back to school time. And this field is off and away for the chase. I think at least one driver just blew a motor because we have a pile up at the front straightaway. Ryan is in it. Jeff Ryan, Michael Cole, and so many others. Caution is back out.
We've seen this a lot at the very beginning of Watkins Glen. There's absolutely nowhere to go. On the right side, you have that corrugated pit wall. On the outside, you have that basically the extension of the track, and there's very little space. So when they all pile through there, they're trying to get a good run out of the final corner. As again, we have almost 30.
No, you're good, Adam. I had to goose it.
Yeah, there's so many different drivers on this field tonight, mind you. That's going to really hamper those that have the EOLs tonight, I think. Like the 2, like the 39, but will help those who are starting from pit road changes.
Hey, Brandon, I want to stay on the pace car, but yeah, I just exited a pit road.
So on that note, as they all get sorted out here and get ourselves paced up, remember, 3 could not afford any troubles tonight. Right in that ballpark off the mix is not going to be helpful or running with heavy damage. You have low motors for turns up to 24. You have so many others that stacked up like the 43 in Cole. Put us already under the caution period.
All right, 1, you are not going to be eligible for the waiver around here.
As they all sort out, it's going to burn some laps here in this very quick first stage and help out the fuel mileage. Let's take a look at what exactly caused the pile up. You see the 43 is right there. Moppin trying to jump it. Then, oh, there was contact with the 21 Watkins, and it causes a big stack up down the straightaway. Nowhere for Ryan to go. Calvary gets clipped at the very tail end, but saves it. And then everyone else slams on the brakes here. Put us under caution.
18 seconds.
And obviously, this is going to be for some drivers faster pair already on lap 1 before you even get to turn 1.
Yeah, obviously only a single faster pair. You don't want to use it the entire night, regardless of how early or late it is. You don't want to have to rely on it. The drivers making their way around, they will get gridded up once again, but we've seen it time and again, but it doesn't mean that it won't continue to happen. Issues on the, I was going to say the restarts, on the start here on the start-finish straight. It's not a long straightaway either. It's not the fastest part of the circuit. It's going to be at the top side before you make it into the bus stop. It's going to be the quickest part of the circuit.
We are
drivers again just trying to make their way into turn 1 with any kind of decent moves at the beginning of the race, and it just fell apart right at the line.
River Hayes did take off on fuel, was not one of those in the caution. Nobody goes. It took them a lap and a half to get up to the safety car.
Slow down on the left side, go to the right.
And so forth. And obviously on a road course it's going to be a very different situation too, because you can see a lot of the drivers at the back of the field, for whatever reason, didn't actually get cleared to be by the safety car. So some drivers are going to have to get waved around here at the end, right before the start, and are not potentially going to catch up to the pack unless they add an extra pace lap.
Hold on, we're looking at something.
Yeah, it could get them a bit of an issue, a bit of a hard time. Again, as soon as they're allowed to go around the safety car, the pace car, they are going to be flying, basically qualifying lap as fast as you can, try and get back involved with this race.
All right, the cars
that at the track map. So again, showing you just how relatively short that start-finish straight is. Relatively sharp corner is turn 1, and the sweeping S's up to the top of the hill. Then you go through the bus stop, which will see some side-by-side action.
We're going to get penalized for starting on pit.
As soon as we can make it that far. Carousel at the far side. Skip the boot down to the side.
We're coming to 1 to go this time.
And then the right-hander, that very banked right-hander on to the start-finish straight once again.
All right, man, we're going green next time. Bye. All right, man, we got to line up on the right side.
Very much critical to hit right. This is one of the, I would argue, a bit of the on the easier factor for the road course, but it's still a road course.
So the field will be the 28-43.
A lot of passing opportunities around here. As you can see, chooses
wave around. You will go behind the 43. If you do catch up in time,
keeping
the
a little
24
bit
and 21 will have to go to the
like
tail.
they have elected to shuffle to at least draw on the front. We'll see how things go with the lights already out on top of the iRacing pace car. The wave around's already sent around. Ryan McCann going to have the chance to lead the field here in this one. Here's Cook, 11th in the points. So he is one of just 2 drivers not mathematically locked in, but so long as he gets stage points in the first 1 or 2 stages, it gets basically to a lock, depending on if he gets a backstay or if he gets near max in the stages to start.
We've seen Morgan Cook run really, really well. Kind of crept up on us last week in Daytona, Florida. And had a really, really good shot at the win, half a lap away, and just ran into some issues right at the sharp end. But obviously very, very different circumstances, very, very different type of track as
Let's go ahead
well.
and start
So
doubling up. Leader has
we're
lane
quite
choice.
handy behind the wheel, as we've seen by the fact that they do have a really, really good shot to make it into the chase. And JP talked earlier on about a lot of drivers really trying to fight for spots, not to get into the chase, but the seeding, right? Trying to make sure that you have the best foot forward going into the back half.
Especially for us already.
Brandon, I know this is probably not a good time to ask this, but any news on the broadcast?
Many people across the United States, back to school time. Back to school 147 Glen. Reasoning.
What are you asking about tonight's broadcast?
Having a name from the inspiration.
Correct.
These
is it up yet?
tonight.
Do you know?
Are already getting set for a challenge, though.
Time.
We'll try this again. This already burning about 4 or 5 laps off the board. We'll have 11 to go on the stage. About McCann, Marino Jr., Ryan, and Cook.
All right, man. Pace cars in.
Job in one of the tough as nails speed shop machines.
Green, green,
Once
green.
those inside your top 5 as we get ready to roll.
Next car is the leader. Car on your
These
left.
cars off.
Go there. Line. Go there.
Field is all set to go back to racing. The green is
Clear
out.
on the left. Car in
Once more in the Glen.
Restart is under review.
No stack ups this time, although there's already looks at 3 wide to the heart of the field, side by side for the lead. Marino Jr. using all of the runoff space to start. It's McCann who clears. It's the start that I think the field was kind of expecting to begin the race, if you will. Already, that's 6, putting up some good distance up for the bus stop.
Have a good look at Tommy Ryan and Morgan Cook trying to close up on Marino Jr. So they get right up next to, when they enter into the bus stop, there's a wall just to the inside of the corner, and you want to basically skim the side of the car off of it without making any serious contact. Is now Ryan using all of the road on the exit of the carousel. Very, very to the limit for the 99.
The fastest lap. You are the leader.
Yep, everyone's stacking up behind Marino Jr.
Restart is good.
Oh boy, stepping out. This car, you were talking with some drivers before today, could be a little bit touchy with the rears.
Little hole on the track.
Absolutely. And Marino Jr. of the other drivers, we see JP Phillips has a decent look down the inside of the Cookie Monster 37.
I thought for sure we were going around there.
They're all just packed up, but there comes a car merging into the highway, basically. Phillips still trying to get those positions back.
Good battles all across this pack, if you will, absolutely. As Phillips gets back in the line, Lewis lets
It does not like going over those curbs on the throttle.
So he's pretty aggressive to start off this run. He's already taken a couple looks 3 wide. Again, took it our chance. Stay back single file, though, for the time being. Now, of note, Christian Barnes has had an issue. He's already left the race. Not sure what happened with the 27, but he's gone bye-bye.
27 was quite a large threat we saw at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve earlier on in the season. River Hayes in the 81, another driver who really put on a strong performance on a handful of road courses throughout the... Find another driver who's looking relatively comfortable, and the 00 does not at the moment, JP.
Indeed, and you see some of those separations, the gaps you see on the pylon are from drivers out of the way to the top. That's some tech issues. Lewis way wide. That's going to cost him a lot of ground. That's not a fast line back in the day. You could use a lot of cuts. Lewis is lucky he didn't hit the tire barrier.
So as somebody does there in the lows. What do you believe? That's Adam Holston getting collected by the wall, able to get away with that one, but that won't build the confidence as Pelfrey now going very defensive.
See just how much a couple of drivers are really floating with disaster here. And Lewis is one of the drivers that starts off only single appearances in the season. Only 1 top 10, believe it or not, for the 88. Despite being a strong competitor in some of the Cup starts he's made this season. It's not worked out the same way in Castle Glass Company Series competition, obviously, the way things have gone.
You know, it has been very up and down for them as again, the 88, very
try to go to the inside cleanly.
Looks like they may have a good look at Pelfrey, maybe into the bus stop. No, it's going to be here immediately, the 31. Rear end coming around, and they're not going to have any speed at all. Here comes the 81 now. Hayes down the inside of potentially both of them.
And that was Hinson trying to make a poke as well. Hits. First time this season, almost a while, changing up the color scheme to put frontline racing on the Water Force racing car tonight. 39 have to come from the back, top 5 of the point standings, and with Barnes basically starting and then pulling down after 5 laps, might be in a spot to potentially pick up a chance to rip away one more speed. Keep an eye on that 39 later on in the race. We're already halfway to the first stage.
You just hit the fastest lap.
You're already halfway, flying by, courtesy of how quickly these drivers can drive, but also the fact that we had that issue up at the front. So again, as you said, burned off a handful of laps. That's still going to mean that the drivers have to be that much more decisive with a little less time in the stage. River Hayes, oh, and the 39 goes around almost into the pit lane, and they do. Pretty much backs in. Nope, able to stay out.
Hinson still trying to back it up. And it looks like we will stay green as Hinson drops to the back. Went way too much on the curbing, didn't he? And that's going to absolutely cost Hinson a lot of positions here that he's going to have to bounce back from in stage 2.
Yeah, still plenty of the race with the 39 showing good pace, and what a large mistake. Again, with being involved with so many drivers so close to your car, all it takes is one mistake to lose a handful. Ryan McCann currently doesn't have that issue, 3.5 seconds up in the front, but Marino Jr. absolutely does have that issue.
Oh, Tommy Ryan, that was a hardy cut. He hit the inside wall. And I think he is okay-ish, although his rhythm's been thrown off of that wall contact.
Yeah, really fascinating to see what the exit looks like on turn 1. So we're coming through here, nowhere near the wall until the very end of that section. Gonna head into turn 1, see what this looks like. Braking, relatively comfortable. Chucks it in, not too much apex curbing. So we kind of settled down, but that did not look intentional. The 99 really stretched it.
And now, going to be a little bit of effort for Ryan to close back up here. Coming up 5 to go in the school. Early on this one. And some drivers that Pelfrey just want to go. Stay green, though. That was the battle for 12th position. Part of his shuffle. James Sturdivant also finishes 2.5 minutes nearly of repairs on his 67 machine here tonight. But as we keep it on, let's look at how much the 99's closed. If anything, better run than before. It's Marino Jr. letting up the inside. Ryan can't get by yet.
Marino Jr. with a fantastic outside line, got it done on the brakes, wasn't able to did not let the 99 down the inside, so this to fight another lap. Tommy Ryan's gonna have to figure out how to get around this 00 that seems to be quick in all the right spots, just can't quite get the move done. The 00 really track extending, and if you go out too far, you're basically trying high as possible. The less you turn the wheel, the more speed you have. But if you're going way off into no man's land and come back onto the track, you can actually lose time that way.
Indeed, and look at this. A little poke there from Scholl, who's maintained top 5, stays there. About to say, remember I talked about one of the other drivers to keep an eye on too, on your pylon? That's their Scholl. He's been maintaining here. Another one I think you're going to have to keep 7. He's been able to cut through the pack so far. Zach Millett has got it up to 9th bar, off 14, 15 position.
Maybe Zach could get up here and show me how to drive.
Four different drivers rolling you past them. Your solid runs, to say the least, for a track like this for them, or charging hard to make their way to the pack.
Yeah, absolutely. And there are the drivers that have the confidence, right? They're not trying to push the tires too hard. They know that even though the stage is coming to an end in only a couple of laps, that there are drivers that are going to be falling off. As again, you see second and third, look how far apart they are before they slot back in. Only one line through the S. They make their way up through the top of the hill, and this is about as close as we've seen the 99 all day long. Look how close this is.
Still, Burger now in the grass goes the 99. The reaching lap traffic, remember, Sturdivant came out of pit road. He is trying to tiptoe his way up to the carousel. Likes to let the leaders on by on the inside, no issue. McCann's now pulled away by almost 7 seconds up front, by the way. Race lead. Ryan, Cole, this time coming up towards the penultimate corner. Not gonna force it. It's all become pretty well connected train. Stretches far back to 6th to 7th position on the board here. No one's been able to really change up too much since the opening drop of the green flag for this run, I mean. Although Shope's trying to do that, didn't get a good run out of the fire.
54, as you said, making some decent moves, trying to have a look at the back of Morgan Cook.
I'm still trying to figure out
again, the only driver that seems relatively comfortable is Tommy Ryan, and that is such a close clear. The 99's all over the back, but I think turn 1's going to be the main spot where you're going to be looking for a move. It's one of the larger braking zones on the track, as these drivers can carry so much speed, even with these O'Reilly cars, all the way around the carousel through the bus stop. They can sling these things just about anywhere they want. So it's so difficult when it's not on the brakes, right? On road courses, you're looking for those heavy braking zones to try to get up next to your opponent. Maybe another good one here going in at the second to last corner.
Coming up to 2 to go on the stage.
2 laps remaining.
Line this
Stage
time.
1 pit road is closed.
Almost got himself clipped on the send it. Tommy Ryan clearing Marino Jr. up to 2nd. Now we find out, especially in the next stage, how that's going to go. Pit road's closed, and oh no, Marino Jr. entered it. He tried to undercut, and the pit road's closed.
That is such a shame. Obviously, right at the death again. As soon as you said it, 00 just crossing the line, a right front lockup into the final corner, trying to answer back and get in front of Tommy Ryan. Nothing doing. Morgan Cook was looming, and the 00 maybe seeing something coming their way.
And all of a sudden,
hey man, anybody
here comes the next
come on now.
How's that going to see him penalized? Obviously, with the pit road closed, normally the sim sees that as a caution period penalty. Race control is still discussing it with Marino Jr. here as we come up to the 1 to go signal. And hearing that the mic has an issue potentially with Marino Jr., that's going to not help his case. Plead his case. Coming up to 1 to go on the stage. By the way, for those curious where River Hayes went on his fuel top off, he just passed Holston up amongst the top 10 spots to get up to 9. 1 to go, stage 1.
Yeah, meanwhile, there is a car up in front of this, which is the 6 of Brian McCann, who again is still pulling at least half a second on Tommy Ryan. And the reason we haven't seen any of them is because that bright red Ford Mustang has rapid. And again, 8.5 seconds. It's wavering a bit as Tommy Ryan gets a bit of open space. Doesn't have to worry about other cars.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
But the 6 has bolted in a pretty impressive way, especially across such a short run. And through the carousel one more time for this stage. Going to sling it off up behind a bit of the stands. Comes back on, and I mean, just wow in terms of the pace.
We'll find out how this goes with Marino Jr. taking a close pit stop, with it closing about 10 seconds before he came in. But for Brian McCann, he put on a dominating run on the stage, green white checker. Brian McCann gets it. The gate he'll try and slow
put it
up.
out. This is the end of stage 1, end of stage 1. Unofficial top 10 for the first stage, 6, 99, 8, 54, 2, 37, 32, 77, 81, and
there,
48.
look at this. 77. Also comes across inside 8. Hayes and Holston. Unsol's down 10. Millette driving 16 spots over the course of the stage. Thoughts so far tonight,
I got passed by the 37.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's some drivers that are sliding their way through the field. It seems like the race, just by virtue of their pace, right?
Prior to the race,
the amount of speed is right here. This is the other thing I want to see with Savignano.
Then the 37.
I think just missing out on Drew Green. And come across the line. Oh, it's the shadows are almost causing the issue.
I was just racing you to start fast.
It's like the two babies ahead if you look at the rear bumper.
I honestly wasn't paying attention. I was still like racing, so.
See that? A little different. Cross the line. One helps secure it.
Yeah, you're all good, man.
And now, as they all zip their way,
leader, whoever it is at the time, let me know when we get 2 to go. Do we have a free pass?
And was the stage winner. This is just his 5th start of the season. He's been a contender up at the front. It feels like every start, though, James.
Yeah, McCann's looked very strong, and again, one of those drivers. This is the first time in my memory that the 6 has really gone and taken it at the start.
Is going to be coming up on the left side.
Along with Hayes and a couple of others, really kind of come into the race later on. So in terms of early stages and getting large gaps, it doesn't seem like that's really the 6's modus operandi. But here, it looks like Watkins really suits that 6, and I mean, if Tommy Ryan wants to have a piece of him, he's got his work cut out. Morgan Cook is involved as well. You talk about the 54th show being involved for the top 4. So I'll be interested to see, once they stack them up again, what their pace looks like in this next
He
stage.
apologizes for his.
Oh, by the way, can't confirm Marino
Jr.'s being out of the seat for a little bit will do to it. Yeah.
Is what race control would give him here under discussion. So in our words, there's no really gain at all on the pit call from Marino Jr. coming up. So he's going to have to start essentially down in 22nd.
The 00 and 67 will go to the tail of the field for entering a closed pit. 67, I believe, that's taking it to the garage. So it'll be just a 00.
Car. Remember, the 2nd stage coming up will run to 35, so a little bit longer, but it's going to get a little bit maybe close-ish on fuel, possibly, James. I don't know about your math, because apparently it's not Marino's math, where he got a 28 in the math final. He said in defense of a pit road entry infraction. I don't know how that adds up to the initial pit, but that's the reason he gave. That being said, normally the run can go up to 35 on a full tank.
I think that they should be good, but I think, again, we talked about short shifting to try to save the rears. I think the drivers can also be trying to short shift to, again, try to run the line they want. The car will also appreciate it. It's a little less bitey, a little less stampy. So I think that it will help out in a long run, and I would say that around 20 laps or so is going to be a relatively long run, considering we only got around 11 last stage.
You know, a proper working microphone would have thought that.
One coming down, and as you can see, everyone should be taking tires here in theory. Good to see with this tire model, people
with that too, Mr. McCann,
and that they keep on the old tires for advantage. Romeo Jr. Rather, McCann got close
drivers,
with Ryan
lap cars on back that will line up in order will be the 2892
on the race off pit road, as the majority of the drivers queue up single file and go from there.
2892.43, 2892.43.
So a good first stage here, and the 2nd stage, I think you're going to have to keep an eye on Millette
28 for speeding
with whoever he's representing here for the points here
now we got the 92.43
is flying.
28
is going to be starting down to the 9th position, was running lap time.
Clear the 43s passing 8-car black flag, please.
up there with the race leader just about on pace. Might at least get to second here now that they're bunched back up.
Hello. Yay, it was.
That's Zach Millette in the 77, I believe. Here we go, riding on board with Millette.
What is the next stage again?
Who currently has Zach White's ride for the evening.
35.
I think it's Zach White's. That's the interesting thing. You see a blank scheme on your paints. Ford, here's the thing. Normally, you're supposed to match manufacturer with the car you're filling in for. I think by instinct he did a Ford where he filled in last time for the 93 car. So depending on when you are in session, you might have the 93 for even your driver's cockpit scene on. In other words, usually it's by the sim number, by who you're filling in for. So in other words, he's going to give that car a penalty by accident because he chose a Ford instead of a Chevy.
Man, we got to line up on the right.
All right, one to go. Let's stay single file.
I mean, I guess Ford people really do love their Mustangs, but that's not going to be the case here for this one.
When we double up, the 28
the trick is, regardless of the paint scheme, the 77, or at least the Millette piloting that machine, seems to be a handful for the rest of the field. And again, along with Hayes and Andrew Shobe, the race seems to be kind of coming towards them in the sense of they've shown good potential with their long run pace. So I think that's where we're going to see a bit of a difference in the way that some of the drivers race. Some drivers can be very, very quick into the corners, maybe not getting better exits. We've seen a couple of wild exits and even wall scrapes, especially through here in the S's. This right side walls, we're going to get far away from it on board Savignano. But right on the right side, drivers getting that right front over the edge. You see a bit of tire wear.
I don't feel like talking.
You have just a little bit of patience with it, as
He said you were behind me.
By the time we get back going here, about 16 laps.
It's really the order you guys exit pit road. Whoever got in line first.
Find out who's going to get the edge here in the next moments or so.
All right, let's go ahead and start doubling up.
Well, they got to make
go. So just about all set to go. The top 10 looks like this. It's McCann, it's Ryan, Cook, and Shobe. Savignano, of Hayes, Phillips, Holston, Lewis, and
why they're penalized?
Those inside your top 10 spots. A few of the drivers are still trying to figure out where exactly they're supposed to be. They're inside or outside, etc.
You are in front of them.
We'll start to double up here to make the way to the penultimate corner and start to door each other by accident, trying to heat up tires.
That's not going to be the way to get those tires heated up with the tension maybe heating up.
Stage 2 concludes at lap 30.
Most likely no intention in that, but it can really put your eyes out on stalks when you're not expecting something like that. All of a sudden, a contact, a bit of a noise from your left if you're Savignano. The two continuing to try and get those fronts in good.
Find out.
Car on your left.
Oh, this is going to go.
All clear, all clear.
Coming up to start lap 20. 16 to go in the stage. Burned about 4 under the caution. Backing away, McCann again went off green. Tommy Ryan looking to put up a good fight immediately. Watches that McCann sends it deep. There is Shobe also going wide like McCann did. 6. Keeps the edge up in front. Top 2 run away to start.
Top 2 with a good start indeed. Morgan Cook holding down 3rd quite comfortably, and then it's side by side with Shobe and Savignano as Shobe looked to have a really good wide line around Morgan Cook. Didn't have a lot of drive. River Hayes trying to have a look at the back. It looks like the 39 of Hinson having a torrid time on the back straight.
Yeah, some of the drivers are definitely battling at themselves. Lewis is in the wall. We have a spinner of the 88. The rest of the field works with the Kara. Spun around to the exit and entrance area, including Marino Jr.
Exactly what the 00 did not want. They're trying to make their way back up through the field. They have serious pace. They were holding on to second for so long. You see them continuing to battle up the sharp end. 00 looking for just a nice clean run, use that pace, get around some cars, and try and save some tires for later on. Bit of an offset if they can. Faster.
Territory, or at least hoping to get a caution midway through the stage here.
1.1.
River Hayes, keep an eye on, chasing down Millett for the time being. Trying to keep up with him off this launch. 77 up to 6th already. River Hayes trying something with fuel mileage earlier. Now in the popcorn seat. So all the battles forming up, including Millett going for the spot in front of Show. Side by side from fifth spot, just in front of the 81 here. That's why you see the slow up.
Just about to say that was pretty clean, but dig that.
What a catch from Millett into the carousel and absolutely hanging that live axle on the rear out on this O'Reilly machine. And still trying to have a look down the inside. They're hanging on to it, but it's absolutely sideways.
Sorry about that, Ryan. I was out of shape that whole corner.
That, mind you,
No,
another one of the Zacks, if you will, against Rocket 77. Trying to fight to hold back onto the spot with River Hayes. 15 years of sim experience. Did we make track? He is from New York State, where he's a state corrections officer in the region. And tonight, looking to try and stay out of trouble and try and help out that car in the owner's points here tonight. River Hayes now point away from it.
That was the 3 of Jeff Ryan. A really close call for Zachary King. My goodness, the 1. Owens had another issue as well. Across the nose for good measure, and that's what caught Marino Jr. out, trying to slow up for the 39.
And for Lewis, see right here, curb. Hop into the barrier.
Such a tricky second to get right. You've got the wall on the right side, which again, Ensign almost gets a face full of. You don't want to go too far right, don't want to go too far left. It's all about timing. And when there's a car near you or a car next to you, it absolutely ruins it. You have to completely slow down on both sides of the battle in order to make it through cleanly.
Battles continue on, including Bolston. Letting cars go. JP Phillips dipping on by. That was for 8th. Phillips, he's had a pretty good season. 8th in points. He's got him 1 podium, just 1 though. It doesn't feel like it for him though. He's been a contender for some wins this season, but just has not been the best by the end of the races so far this season, despite being in the conversation so much on the short tracks.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very feisty driver, and of course 2 pole positions as well to their name. So in terms of that 1 lap pace, they have been the best on the day twice. And there have been a handful of moments of what could have been Phillips. They try to chase down probably the 2 fastest cars on track potentially in Hayes and Millett, but not if they go side by side into the second to last corner.
Gotta be careful here, and you can see it continues to eat up the incident. There isn't an incident limit here tonight, interestingly enough. So that's not the concern. We normally see on the ovals where there would be 17 and 21
I see, right.
in terms of penalty to disqualification.
Thank you.
And obviously, that can impact how you drive too. Because this area here you see on the concrete normally is an area where you get an incident point for how wide they're going.
Yeah, drivers, again, we see this with racing drivers of any series, not just like here comes Millett trying to have a look around the outside. Again, that 77 is being thrown. That car's going to be so happy when Millett gets out of it. It's around the outside of the bus stop.
Just trying to park it in front, does. And this is all seeing Show fall into the clutches of this group. Show was one of those keeping up with the lead group for much of the way. It's splintered a lot more this run, comparatively. So right now, these drivers are seeing a bit of a pace difference, or seeing some of the drivers really struggle, like Hayes there, using up a lot of rubber.
really having to wrestle these cars around. And of course, the more you slide, the more the tire degrades. The more the tire degrades, the more you slide. It is an intricate art. They're trying to hang on. And oh, by the way, 10 laps to go in the stage. So these drivers are going to keep, I was going to say ruining these tires. They're basically using them up. They're chewing them as they head through this relatively high-speed section, and Millett just looks like he's trying to tick off car after car. Nothing around the outside, but Shobe has got a handful here.
And all this, see them go bumper to bumper. You also have a group of Green, Hawkins, and Hinson. Jeff Ryan, Michael Cole also grouped together amongst those respective paths. So everything for now is kind of broken into what you would normally expect to see. Shobe, realizing the pace difference here, says, take the inside. No problem, I'll just defend to the outside. And now switch back to my preferred group.
And the 54 really doing a good job, no matter which battle they're on. A decent amount of power out there. Do the 77 to the door on the inside. May have a good look, but Shobe's been on the outside before, fighting with Morgan Cook on the restart. And yeah, there they go. 54 sweeping around the outside and kind of pinching the 77 low and may get this spot back. Have to see how the S's go.
This isn't going to work for too long. They need to get single filed out eventually. And as the preferred line on the inside, makes contact with the fender. Shobe keeps it outside. Now tech issues for the 54. That's an issue. That's a huge issue. Millett had to take a different line, and now Shobe is spinning because no one can see him. River Hayes had to check up in it. That is not great for the 54, who is filling for tonight's race control. He just got the connection flag.
Here, and they got a meatball flag as well. What an absolute shame for one of the driver, again, one of the feistiest drivers on the grid, fighting it out with Zach Millett. And what a shame. River Hayes, you can see it right there, the left front damage. That is not nothing at all. And coming down immediately for service is the 81.
He has to get it dealt with. It looks like he's going to say, I can't deal with this. He's already topped off for fuel and a different strategy before staying out of damage issues then. Now, but we'll try and see if it takes the fast repair. V1 off and in as a result, and there's the fast repair. Yep, taking quick service, taking a fuel only stop yet again. Going to be interesting where he gets on the lead lap. I believe he's going to stay on it. Here's Hinson for Harrison. His issue earlier. He's just trying to get himself up to 11.
Going to have a look at the back of Calkins in the 21, who takes a ton of curb. And again, it's relatively single file through the bus stop unless you are really making your case. And the 21, she's basically jumping, launching up those curves. You saw that at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve up in Canada as well. These drivers really using those curves. The Cup Series did not. The Cup Series didn't really appreciate using that curbing. Coming out here, the curbs aren't terribly raised compared to other circuits across this the road course equivalents, but so you can see the drivers sometimes in certain areas, especially in turn 1, absolutely ignoring the exit curbs and is using whatever available space there is.
All being very careful the way things look. Bill got up to 7 to go in the stage. Time by in a race that has had its drama, but so far still seeing 4 surviving as they can around the circuit. Hawkins involved in the early troubles we mentioned.
48.
Just trying to hold on to that machine. I believe it's Ghost that's on the car. He's having a hard time. He won't stand the curve. On Green, a whole city. Also just grouped up and are swapping up the road also. See them up the road, making some changes.
Olsen down the inside on green, but again, we're having a look at Hinson trying to make a move, and Calkins, looks like Calkins taking tons of curb and then some, and the 39 not really taking any curbing at all. And a big wiggle. You saw how long it took for the 21 to get the rears hooked up. Took absolute ages out of the final corner.
Yeah, now, as you can see with Vincent on the wiggle, really just trying to fight with the rubber. Let's take a look on board here.
48 XP.
Look how he's attacking. A better momentum swing compared to what we're seeing from Calkins, but right about here, that machine just did not maintain the grip it needed. It's going to be another possible lap of set the pass.
Yeah, it's a really nice feeling. You got a driver up in front. You're not running right at 100%. You're maybe running at 97, 98%. And the driver in front is not pulling away and is wiggling like this. You can basically just sit and watch. You said, JP, in the popcorn seat. And the 21's is going to try and do the lap times that they can and try and run away. But look at the angle, the snaps. There's 2-3 different turns in the same corner. And now down the inside of the final corner, not a big braking zone. No turning down from the Calkins, and a huge moment for Hinson.
Drew Green decided to pit. I think he might have been concerned on fuel possibly, because that is a lot earlier than we would expect. We're talking 6 laps to go on the stage for a pit stop.
Potentially looking to just go. Maybe they have confidence in how far they can go that way. Again, we talked about potentially short shifting. Maybe they're thinking, if I just come in now, do what I need to do, I'll be good to the end, and hopefully the race comes to me.
Realistically speaking here, as you see with the intervals and spreads, the one major thing I've noticed on the interval, the Tommy Ryan no longer boxed in for that second place spot before with Marino Jr. Been able to at least keep within a second and a half or so with the overall race leader. But that's kind of shuffled to it under 2 seconds in the past moments or so.
Yeah, JP, as soon as you made that point, you're absolutely right. It's been hovering around a second. As soon as we had to look up there, it jumped at least 0.8. Now it's at 0.9 of a second difference, probably on this lap alone. And so Tommy Ryan either maybe
we were halfway.
Something else going on. I doubt McCann has turned up the wick anything like 0.9 a lap. They were very, very even earlier on, which was your point. So interesting to see.
I mean, when's the stage?
Back in within a second and a half, so it could just be the nature of Watkins.
I think we all got a pit, right?
Possibly, as you see that battle going on for fourth. Good day for the Canadians so far. Morgan Cook stayed out of trouble here this evening. Maintaining a spot.
Or do you take tires and fuel
30
and then don't?
Some races, but picking up good stage numbers. I think it require a massive fall apart here. So long as Cook doesn't spin out of the top 10 here in stage 2 to lose the opportunity to make sure you're clinched up with no issues for stage 3.
Well, 33, 34, 35 equals 3 laps.
Yeah, again, as you said, the 8 doing such a good job. And these two, fascinatingly, the 77 of Zach Millett, again, using every single inch of the racetrack. And Morgan Cook, very, very proper in their lines, very almost classical, if you want to call it that. The 8 very proper in the way that they're attacking the racetrack. And the 77 almost looks like they're dirt tracking. It's working because they're chucking it around the outside, doing absolutely crazy things in that machine. It's Morgan Cook basically gotten done before the bus stop. So surprising pace from Millett, able to make up 1 more spot.
Once again, swap around, and third's about to have a chance for that as well. 3 to go in the stage coming up as they all...
I think I'm going to take tires and fuel.
Right now, the 77 on pace, running last time 115 flats. The funny thing is, Brian McCann has decided to pit. So is Tommy Ryan. So is everybody else. I don't think anybody can actually make it here. They're all peeling down at the same time.
Well. I mean, there's only a couple laps. It looks like Zach King, top right of the screen. So as you said, McCann, Millette.
Go. Be mindful.
See if anybody else is going to be peeling down, but what does that say for the drivers that were pitting earlier on? I don't think that there's a chance at all in making it to the end of this one, unless, again, we have some crazy amount of cautions. McCann makes it off of pit road, so we'll retain the lead of the race. We're still green flag, so Ryan is still going to be there. And again, about a second or so. Wow.
So only 3 are still on the track. Reggie Kime, Ryan Pelfrey, Zachary King. And they have to come in. Honestly, this time by for King if he doesn't feel like he can make it. This is the thing. If he's been clutching coasting, or better yet, lifting coasting like a road car, he might be in a much better spot here.
Go inside, Cole.
This is going to be very intriguing. I'm not surprised King's one of those trying it because he's done this before.
The lead is 18 points.
A lot of speed. Yeah, they're not coming in at all. At least one more time around for the number 1.
Yep, pit road is closed. 2 laps remaining, stage 2. Pit road is closed.
Pit road is closed. Pit is closed. It should be closed. There it is. Pit road's closed up and no one else peeled down. So at this point, if you're running a gas, good luck. 15 laps. And some of the drivers are that close on fumes, or at least trying to flip the stage. Keep in mind, some took tires, some did not when they came down pit road, including the tires of Savignano, Millette. Fuel only for drivers like Hayes and Holston.
Staring at the side exhaust of the 1, seeing when they shift, when they lift off, trying to see anything. Zach King, they seem like they're absolutely flying. They've only lost about 8 or 9 tenths of a second to McCann over the last 2 laps. Oh, this is a not here. Pelfrey on the outside of Savignano and Millette involved as well. Again, this is basically for the net podium position.
It's turned into a little bit of topsy-turvy somewhat for these spots, but we're at 1 to go already in the stage. Realistically speaking here, much of the field looks good. Elijah Maupin, who was laps down, I think, can't make it, has already pressed the pit button for 23rd. But no other driver has rolled the dice, or rather thrown the dice out. Passed by Savignano with Cook. No tires, maybe 2 actually for the 8. It was 4 tires for the 2. Fresher tires make the move.
It almost looked like Savignano caught the back of Morgan Cook, who was all kinds of sideways. Millette going to try to have a look down the inside at the bus stop. The 8 shuts the door. Try to fire it up around the outside of the carousel. No, they can't, because so Millette's going to get the ability to get a decent run out of the carousel. Morgan Cook not in a good spot. Hugs the inside and again takes that more traditional line. Bit of an extension, but Savignano potentially into the back of Cook.
Go ahead,
all kinds of sideways. As Zach King hitting the line first.
Zachary King able to come away with a green-white checkered flag. Brian McCann gets to second. Ryan in third. Savignano, Cook, Millette.
Put it out. This
top
is the
6. Pelfrey holds on as well for
2.
7. Hinson right behind River Hayes.
Stage
up
1,
in the 9th
6,
positions.
99,
And Adam Holston
2, 8,
unable to make the pass for the 10th
31,
spot.
81,
Final
39, and
points in
48.
stage number 2. After 1 hour of racing, first 2 stages are complete here, James.
Can't believe it's been an hour. It feels like it's flying by as drivers looking to
Zachary King making
extensions, looking to try and find
just let me know.
a bit of something that'll catapult him forward, and catapulted exactly what Zachary King did. So able to stay out, working that strategy well, and the one taking the stage in surprising fashion. And again, had 7 seconds up the road, obviously due to not coming in when the others did.
Pace cars in turn 1.
Let's have a look here if they heel on in. They do not, so they will be potentially picking up as the leader as we are about to begin the final stage.
Leave a lane on the left side for the 11 is your free pass.
That might be also the call. And obviously, you're talking about a stage that is, realistically speaking, 35-ish laps. No, that is not right on that. It's 25-ish. Less than that. Zach King, mind you, is already pit twice over the course of the race here. And he is really trying to coast. I think Ryan Pelfrey's ran out of gas. Ryan Pelfrey's just towed.
Say what? Yeah, Zach's going to have
the road course, even one that's relatively short. So we're having to look here at Zachary King's pitting. So basically pit on lap 1. I cannot remember, JP, if he
Tommy Ryan was staying with me last time.
With that incident right at the start. And then on lap 17 and 18. So 18 was the last time they had service. So we're looking at 19 laps or so.
So close update.
And as Dylan Calkins also has the issues you mentioned, 2 different drivers already out of fuel on the laps to pace around that. Well, different calls. Holston's cutting to the grass, trying to make it to the queue. Douglas Wysocki looks like he's going to try and get a lucky dog, or at least pass around the pace car.
Wait till I raise and tell you to go. Bring it back here.
Passed the pace car and said, "Can I pass him now?" As he made the pass.
Manifest Destiny?
Thank you guys.
Question mark?
Appreciate it.
It's for forgiveness after you do it. You know what I mean?
Okay, we got to get a move on.
So, that being said here,
I don't have enough fuel to get there.
big call for the 1, but we might see with so many people taking tires at least, a lot of people say, I'd rather stay out at
4.
Wysocki goes back to the line after passing everybody. He's going to go back to the line. He'll do it again.
All right, just let me know when.
And McCann, as we expect, would be one of the ones stayed out. Tommy Ryan, though, took tires under the green. Looks like he doesn't feel comfortable on the gas, potentially on the mileage.
Zach's going to show me how to drive.
Sounds like we're going to be expecting him just to be, just pick him up, put him down.
Zach will probably show me up.
Out there. I cannot remember.
The 92 and 9 will have to go to sideways for entering a closed pit.
That 99 seems to have the pace.
I have to throw some blocks
similar
out.
to McCann out front. And I don't know if the 99's using up their tires, but just really making the car do what they want. If they're not extending in a certain way that we've seen other drivers really looking to try to explore the space.
I bet you are.
Also help with tire life as well.
Lap cars on back will be the
that 99
31,
really
54, looks 28.
Is just trying to break, basically trying to split that rock.
11, you'll go behind the 28, and then the 92 and 9
front
at the tail.
Trying to apply some pressure.
Brandon, I heard you tell me about the 43.
King came out in 6th. It's in, so it's just rounding out the top 10.
Brandon, I'll have starting to back in the pack again. I got another
part of those who stayed out along with up at the front.
That's number 2, sir. Number 3 will be a penalty, but you know,
I think race control's going to have to sort things out a little bit as they catch the pace car. We'll get 1 to go this upcoming time by. For all the service here of note, Pelfrey did rejoin the circuit after his tow of the truck. Puts him a lap or 2 down. Shobe is done for the night after 2 stages. The best will finish around the 22nd position, but
43 was entering close pit, but it happened before you closed the pit, so weird stuff there.
Yeah, it's a real shame for the 54 that was running so well. Again, kind of in terms of the way they're having to drive a little bit on the back foot, being attacked by a couple of other drivers and really able to maintain their position for a long time. put some really good moves, especially
Hold
a
on,
couple of moves we saw around the outside
there.
in turn 1, and then of course those really severe connection issues, unfortunately, ending their day, which is not the way anybody wants.
All right, man.
Well, nobody wants their day ended, and least of all by that.
43 does not have the penalty that I gave him, and he did not enter a closed pit that I had jotted down. So the 43, you do not have to go to the tail. You can go up there, and the way you exit pit road, the position that you exit pit road in, you're welcome to retain that position.
Couple of the drivers getting shuffled in the order. Michael Cole specifically. Not sure what's going on with
the
Cole.
tail of the field will be the 31, 21.
I'm not sure.
The 54 is out, so it'll be 31, 21.
Maybe that's why
the 11 goes behind the 21. He's the free pass. The 92, you'll go behind the 11, and then the 9 behind the 92.
Strange situation to get, just not able to get up to the back. Road courses are so funky when it comes to this kind of stuff. Again, we're talking about Ryan Pelfrey, among others, who ran out of gas. When you get it wrong
my apologies.
at something like Bristol, right? You just come in to whichever side of the pit you need to come into. You can try to stretch it a couple extra laps, try to get a little bit extra tire life potentially. Here, you can get stranded over a mile from home. And it really can be tricky to try and get those numbers. Try to bend them just right to see if you can get them to work, and if they do not work,
92,
once you are at 0, you are at 0.
9 cannot double up. They'll go on the right side.
21 to go when we get the green flag going once again here at Watkins Glen. The cutoff ranks for the chase can tell you at the very least with Waisaki's troubles.
You good, Elijah?
The stage, I think, basically
yes,
put
I'm trying
a
to
virtual lock, but not a full lock on Cook.
If he's not there, close it up. I don't want you to be a straightaway behind when we go green.
Jeff is still outscoring Waisaki right now on the racetrack.
I see the 21.
So,
all right, we're coming to the green. We got 21 remaining. 21 remaining. We can go to lap 60. Everybody's doing a good job. Let's keep
the race win, obviously.
21's retired.
There's a couple different plays on fuel mileage. Who's going to make it? Who's not? Who's going to have fresher tires? Who's not? Let's see how this goes for stage number 3 for the 147 at the Glen. Pace car is off. Ken has been waiting for the green flag to fire them off here today. Green, green, green. Let's go back to racing.
Well, that's it.
Late start up in the front. Zachary Kinamunsto sending it deep to the corner. 2 by 2. Rio Jr. Munsto's back up towards the front after his involvement in troubles earlier on the race. He's in the wall already, nearly.
We'll keep it on.
You're losing a bit of ground. Zachary King trying to have a look at who they want to support heading toward the bus stop. Millette on the inside, 7. Yano on the outside. It looks like the 2's got the drag. No, they're going to go in side by side. That's a close call there. 77 able to back out.
Bus stop, no issues this time. L single file out, but McCann's ran away by running more than a second. That was the gap for a majority of stage 2 when the 99 of Ryan was behind. Ryan is still in that conversation of the train also. Watch for the 99. The problem is Ryan's had an issue making passes today. He's got speed, but only when he's in clean air.
Very quick driver, all lined up. Zach Millette moving their way through the field, trying to attack for second. Nothing doing there. Tommy Ryan trying to have a look down the inside at 1. That's going to open the door potentially for Marino Jr., who looks like they have a really good challenge, a bit of a snap for both drivers. And now Ryan's going to be really tested through this S and is way off the racing line. Marino Jr. able to capitalize. No, they're not. They're going to slide, potentially lose a spot to River Hayes on the outside.
Trying to squeeze through. Hayes keeping a fender at least.
Sorry, River.
Chance to clear. He's a little loose. Leaks keep the fight up.
Put it out. We got a big one in the carousel.
Is that going to be a slowdown? He was up in the grass. No, it was not. But Rio Jr. spins it anyway into Holstead. Around goes the 00, a crash into the racing surface, green spun around, and that's the caution.
It still may be happening as we saw JB Phillips get hit into the side of the 00. It looks like everybody's starting to move around now. That was hard and mount stuff. Y'all was dropping as I was seeing. The 32 basically had an accident and then basically reversed straight back onto the track due to the impact. They hit the car that was in the wall. Couldn't go anywhere because it was in the wall. Phillips right back onto the circuit unintentionally like a cue ball.
Good job, everybody on back avoiding there.
And it causes absolute decimation. Obviously, remember in this series, you have a spin on the racing surface like that that can block traffic. It brings up the caution. Marino Jr. really was the spark to all that when he first sent it a bit too deep in the final leg of the inner loop before they got to the carousel. That destabilized the car.
31 will be coming up on the left side. 31 come up on the left side.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The 00 trying to make some room around the outside. Right, River Hayes forced the issue. Both drivers were significantly alongside, and we've seen drivers go side by side. But again, as we've spoken about, you have to give up a little bit. You can't take the inside apex and the next corner and the next corner. You have to give a little bit of room. And Marino Jr. was trying to keep the speed as high as possible, keep that minimum speed up through the bus stop. And on that, basically the fourth apex, we have a really close call just in the back. I'm gonna see who that was. They're behind Dave Billings. And again, right through here, that corner we're looking at on our screen, catching the grasp for the 00 of Marino Jr., which kept them really unstable. They tried to stay on the inside of River Hayes. River Hayes taking their line. The 00 coming up, front end, basically kind of hitting the side of the 81 and sending the 00
I don't think we need to.
Have a look. So through there, it's already kind of going away. And that strike from Marino Jr. into, oh my goodness, and the 37 gets collected. And right here, that bounce from Phillips so close to causing more issues.
And all of that sees Marino Jr. in his second incident of the night. It's not been a fun night for him, to say the very least. And what is his fourth start in this series? The 00.
3,
not having a good time.
1.
Hey, on the bright side, you can also go to where the Corning Museum of Glass is and be able to try and get your mind off the race.
37,
some other people may join him after
28.
Line up single.
Yeah, there might be a couple of drivers that, again,
and the 00 will go to the tail.
Have not been having the best day here in New York, as we see a nasty amount of gunk in the air on pit road. And a huge gaggle of cars as Brian McCann still out in front, but only just from Zachary King.
A lot of people taking fuel, a lot of people, in a couple cases, taking tires. Green, remember, towed after he was involved in an incident hearing. He had a meatball and has taken the fast repair. That's why he's now a lap down. Let's take a look. And he was the one stopped in the racetrack. Got out of the car, but took us some time and had to take fast repair to be able to keep racing here. Now needs a miracle to have another chance here, to say the least. Look who's up front here with the roulette. Only 2 stayed out, but the gamble for fuel was 7 the line. Cook and Cole.
17 laps is a long way to go. And we got some decent green flag racing before. Oh, that's a tricky one. I don't know. It's terrifying. I don't think they can make it. Morgan Cook has looked very, very strong, very, very composed as well. A couple of drivers able to get to the inside of the 8, but on overall pace, extremely consistent.
1 to go this time, 1 to go.
And Michael Cole being up there. Really good look for the 43. We'll have to see how this goes. It's again, Brian McCann, Zachary King, Savignano, and Ryan all looking very, very quick at this.
Catch the 92 car.
And
okay,
we'll
you said I fall in behind the 37, correct?
Marino Jr. getting the EOL. He's still
all right, man, we're going green next time. Bye. All right, man, we got to line up on the right
Obviously,
side.
we can some of the others. I don't think they're going to make it on fuel again. Reggie Kime and a bunch of other cars here,
stepping away
as you would expect, topping off.
Stand by.
I don't think they're going to make it from here either yet, because a few drivers, everybody had to pit with a couple laps to go to make sure they can make it the last time, and we've seen people run out about this distance with stage 2.
Yeah, there's fuel for Millette, who joins back in. Savignano's still. Oh, so Savignano's taking tires, at least outsides. Their side of the car pops up, taking 4, and obviously going to be taking fuel.
It's the 8 car.
Savignano, one of the front runners that should be, at least right now, should be good to go to the end.
It's the 8 car.
I'm going to be pulling
So all
off here
these
at the bus
drivers
stop, so wait
getting
for the
themselves ready for
37.
the restart with Cook and Cole versus each other on the front row. McCann, Cook, King, Ryan. Top 5, Hayes, Phillips, Jeff Ron, Gavin Henson, and Adam Holston.
All right, let's start doubling up
for the upcoming restart. This entire pack is getting itself geared up for what could become a fuel mileage race. With so many drivers going to be on the edge, this could get difficult. With this essentially being the same distance as stage number 2. All right, you can tell with how many drivers are backing up. A lot of people are backing up their fuel runs.
It's the 37
Trying to use the
track.
hills if they can as well.
Yeah, that's
Zachary King trying to tear the tires off of that number 1. So the game here now is, even if you lose a handful of spots, if you know you're going to be good to the end and you think your competitors might not be, do you have the nerve to lose track position, lose precious seconds, even if you're up at the front, in an effort to actually be there at the end? Because drivers can really have a good bluff, really like they're going to take it all the way, and then come in with like 2 to go.
Here we go. Restart time.
The lead is at 24.
They'll make their way up to the restart zone with the pace car off.
Clear on the left.
Restart is under review.
Cook waits. The green waves are underway. Look at McCann. He timed up the throttle point. He knew exactly where it was and sends it for the race lead immediately. Restart is under review. That's to be expected when you have that good of a launch like the 6 just did.
Unbelievable. If that's good to go, then McCann has put on an absolute masterclass on the start. And Morgan Cook striking the left side wall.
He was second gear, I was first gear. No wonder I was quicker.
2 cars, maybe 3 wide into the bus stop. Surely not. Zach King having to back out of the throttle. As again, they're side by side. The 99 is going to be there on the inside, which turns into the outside for the carousel on the grass. The way Marino Jr. was for the 8 of Morgan Cook. And Zachary King trying to come through as well.
Said now we're trying to keep his time. Zachary King up to the top 3. Got around 15 to go. And King, remember, trying to get the last in. Everybody's on his same cycle now. JP Phillips amongst those sending it on Cole in the background.
I don't think I have enough fuel.
Right now, McCann is running away already. 1.8 seconds. I'm curious, what are those throttle points looking like for the 99 for that big of a difference? He's losing a 10th a corner.
Brian McCann is just finding some time. There are just some days as, man, Zachary King hanging the left front tire off of the side of the car, basically. Ami Ryan trying to get away from Zach King, who's got enormous pace. Big moment there. This may be Morgan Cook's opportunity.